What is going on, everybody out there in internet world? It's that time again. Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 11:03 Eastern right now. I hope you are doing good. Welcome to the Tux Care stream. It is your senior developer advocate, your resident senior developer advocate, Chris Mars. Hopefully you're staying hydrated. I got my chickadee cup, my favorite bird, chickadee. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, second breakfast, afternoon tea, whatever you're into. Cheers to that. Stay hydrated out there. It's been super hot. We were going through a heat wave, but that's okay. If you are not following me on Twitter, because Twitter fixed the algorithm, so now we are seeing all of our mutuals again, which is super cool because there's a lot of people out there I haven't seen in a long time that I am reconnecting with. It actually gave me goosebumps when I found all this out, and people were replying. I woke up to 20 plus notifications this morning on my Twitter feed. So that's super, super cool. So, but if you are not following me on Twitter, definitely give me a follow right there, twitter.com/saltandburnham, and it will always be Twitter. It will never be X. Make sure you follow with TuxCare right there, twitter.com/TuxCare_. And if you want to know more about all the cool stuff that we're doing, head over to tuxcare.com. We're talking about endless lifecycle support. We're talking about kernel care. We are talking about Secure Chain, which is the latest and greatest. Check out Secure Chain, if you will. My guest today, I'm going to bring up someone that I've known, I would say, for a couple years now in passing. We've chatted plenty on various channels on the internet. And if you've been to a conference where this person has been, you know him, you've seen him. He's a instrumentalist, I think would be the word, a musician of sorts. I am going to bring onto the stage my buddy, Joey De Via. What's up, Joey?
Hey, Chris. Hey, all's good. How you doing?
Wait, 10 toes down, 6 feet above ground. We got coffee. The day is it's sunny, so it's good. It's good. How are you?
Quite well, thank you. Also sunny where I am. I am based in Tampa, so in Florida, the Sunshine State, and yeah, it is. You know what? It's mid-July, and it's quite hot and humid here.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the humidity. I do like the heat, but I don't like sweating.
Okay.
I hate to sweat. So, it is what it is, but that's just life. So,
yeah, nobody really likes sweating. You just take what you just take what you can from the territory. I relocated here a dozen years ago. I'm originally from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So very different. Very different climate. Toronto has seasons. Most of Florida does not. And I relocated here because my wife, she's based here. One of us had to move, and she doesn't like winter. And it was, I don't know if it still is fairly easy. Under NAFTA, which is now USMCA, which is, I have no idea what the agreement's called anymore. But there was a program where people from US, Canada, and Mexico could work in one of the other countries, just simply by providing an offer letter, some kind of certification, $50, and pass an interview with a customs officer.
Wow.
Yeah, so I did that doing developer relations. Now we had to hammer the job to fit the description that under which there was this job category that allowed me to work in the US. It was called Computer Systems Analyst. It's a 1970s title. It doesn't mean anything. Like, I think the last person, even in fictional life, that I know who used who had the title Systems Analyst was Khan from King of the Hill. So
yeah, that's hilarious. Well, tell everybody who you are, what you're all about, where you work, and the little secret that you have that you bust out pretty much at every conference that I've seen.
Okay, well, let's see now. All right, if you anglicize my last name, and I do it a lot. I say, I'm Joey De Villa. Let's see now. If you're doing it in Spanish, it's Joey de Villa. If you're doing it in Filipino, though, which is I was born in the Philippines, I'm Filipino. The proper Filipino pronunciation is Joey de Villa.
Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah. It's got a good Latin dictator feel to it.
Yeah.
And I think I should have It sounds like I should have statues of me in the town square or something like that. But, and anyways, I am a senior developer advocate at NetFoundry. That's netfoundry.io. And NetFoundry is based on a piece of open source software called OpenZD, and it is a secure network overlay. We'll talk about that later. But basically, what we do is we make OpenZD, and it's a secure network overlay. Basically, makes it quite easy to very securely communicate, have systems and software communicate with each other in such a way that there are no open standard ports available. In fact, to establish communications between applications or systems, it's not possible unless both sides present ID. A cryptographic ID. It's done over MTLS, and what it basically means is that there are no typical ports to attack. You can't because you can't attack what you can't see. And of course, what NetFoundry does, the way NetFoundry makes money, is the way a lot of open source companies make money, and that is, okay, the software, we put it out there. It's free as in speech. It's free as in beer. It is not free as in mattress. In other words, it's good. That's the third kind of free that you have to watch out for. Free as in mattress. But the way, of course, it's one thing to run software, and it's another thing to run it at enterprise scale and set up servers and keep it maintained. So, of course, what we do is we sell the service where we go, you know what, if you're a hobbyist or if you have the time, sure, go ahead. Clone the repo, work with it yourself. But if you're a big company and and you have better things to do, including running your business, yeah, come to us. We will give you a managed version of the service. We will maintain things. All you have to do is do what your company normally does, and we will take care. We'll take care of this aspect of your security.
Nice. That sounds like a good company to work for.
It is. It's fantastic. I knew it immediately. I think we both knew it immediately because I had the rarest interview experience with NetFoundry, which was fantastic. I talked with Siobhan, who is our HR person, one morning, and she said, "You know what? You have to talk to the CTO." And she set up an interview with him, Dave Hart, who's now my boss. An hour later, I was talking with him. And then he was going, you know what, you have to talk to one of our lead developers, Clint. And he set up an appointment with Clint, which was an hour after that. And then I got a message back. This is all one day. And
Wow.
Finally, they said, look, have a quick chat with our CEO, which I did that afternoon. And then the CEO said, you know what, you should talk with our HR person because we have an offer letter for you. So it all happened in one day.
Wow.
And it is the exact opposite of the rest of my 2025 experience, where it was just chasing after work and doing somewhere between 6 to 8 interviews with various companies, either to be told no or we were doing something else with the role. Actually, I got a lot of we're doing something else with the role. And I get the feeling that a lot of other people in developer relations, developer advocate circles are experiencing the exact same thing.
Yeah, and this kind of leads perfectly into the conversation. Last year, so I've gone through. I always say that DevRel is a churning industry. Like it's not the same DevRel that it used to be, and like we know that.
Yeah.
I went through 3 layoffs in 3 years, whether that was for reorgs, whatever the case may be. Nothing performance related, nothing because that, not because I was doing something wrong. And a lot of my friends, our friends that were in that position, they weren't doing anything wrong. They were doing all the things, they were checking all the boxes. But then when it comes down to interview time, I think every single time I've been laid off, I've applied to 100 plus organizations.
All right. Yes.
And like you, I've gone through that interview process, and they'd say, "Oh, well, we don't know what we're going to do with this role," or we decided to move in a different direction, or they just totally ghost you out of the blue. When I started with TuxCare, and I've been there a little over a year now, it was a really great interview. I interviewed with, well, I was introduced by a friend of mine that is in the Java community. I was introduced to another friend, and we all knew each other anyways. So he referred me to the role. I had an interview with HR, then I had an interview with the lead developer advocate who already knew who I was. He knew I checked all the boxes. I had one other interview with the CRO, who is my skip. And it's funny because I did the interview. I had a Detroit Red Wings shirt on. And come to find out, the CRO is originally from Michigan. So he saw the Red Wings shirt and he was like, "You're hired." It was great. I mean, I didn't get hired based on that, but I mean, it was cool to see that recognition back and forth. And I had a standard interview. And then I think a few days after that, I also had an offer. I didn't have everything the same day, but it's kind of like one of those fun little interview stories that you can talk about.
Oh, that's fantastic. And speaking of hockey, actually, Dave Hark, my boss, CTO of NetFoundry, when he was interviewing me, he was going to go to a hockey game that night, and he was wearing his Buffalo. I don't know if it was a jersey. I can't remember, but I remember seeing the Buffalo Sabres logo. And of course, being from Toronto, I'm familiar with it. So I asked about that as well. And yeah, we got a little local hockey discussion going, and that was fantastic. And I guess maybe the moral of the story is, yeah, if you're interviewing for DevRel, maybe brush up on your hockey.
Yeah, if you're going to interview with me, you definitely got to be a Red Wings fan.
Okay.
But so that brings up a great point, though, especially with hiring, since we're talking about DevRel things. I don't know if something's changing or it's just the standard kind of ebb and flow. But I have seen friends of mine recently that have been laid off that, within 3 months, even a month, they've been getting hired at roles. Have you seen kind of the shift, or is that me just trying to hallucinate DevRel, quote unquote, coming back? Because everybody has said, and still does say DevRel is dying.
I'm experiencing the same thing you are. Not only that, I believe, let's see now. I can't remember which service it is. Every now and again, I see it in my email where something is reporting, hey, it's one of these. I think it's one of these recruiting companies, but they are talking about, hey, DevRel hiring is increasing at these particular companies. Because I think I still have the, and just out of curiosity, yeah, I have not turned off job notifications, but not for looking for jobs, but for a month, out of curiosity, but also as material for the Hail Mary talk proposal that actually got turned into a lightning talk at DevRelCon.
Nice.
Right. First of all, DevRelCon made a tragic mistake by not accepting the panel that we would have been on. Yeah. So it was you, me, Fred Harper, and wait, who was the fourth? Because
Heather Downing.
Okay. How could I worked with Heather at Okta, so I should have remembered.
There's so many people we know in this community. But yeah, Heather's good people. I love her.
Oh yeah, Heather's fantastic. I worked with her at Okta. Fantastic catching up with her again at KCDC, and I'm looking forward to that because
I'll be there.
I have a talk at KCDC. Once again, actually, you know what? For the past couple of conferences, every talk that has been accepted is the random one that I was going, they'll never take this.
Yeah.
And the one that I thought was a sure thing, like ours, I thought Fred's proposal for our panel was a sure thing.
Yeah. We definitely need to submit that again somewhere.
Yes. So my the throwaway talk that I submitted that got accepted is called "The Market is Trying to Tell You Something," and
Let's
it
talk about
is
that.
and it is about the DevRel market, and it's really funny because I think the phrase I used is I learned by allowing the market to interview me, which is which is a which is a very dressed up way of saying I interviewed a lot. I did a lot of interviews,
Yeah,
and basically what I learned is it's it used to be can you it used to be the question that you were trying to answer in a DevRel interview is can you get attention?
right.
Can you can you get the readership? Can you get the eyeballs? Now it's can you map what you do to a result? Like, can you connect the dots between whatever effort you're doing in DevRel to an actual result, like whatever it is, to whatever the company defines as ROI. And
Yeah.
I especially learned that with one company where I prepared one thing, and as soon as I went for the final interview, they were going, "Okay, let's suppose you were on a sales call, and it became a sales thing, and they specified a client, and they were just going, yeah, it's this particular company, and of course, I was prepared to show off my knowledge of the product and how well I could put together a demo, and all of a sudden they were asking, um, how well can you sell this thing to a company in a particular category, and we've just dropped this on you now, and it was of course because of that it was a disaster. And what I've been doing with my interviews, with the consent of the other side, is I've actually been recording
Hmm.
and then feeding and then getting the transcript and then feeding it to various LLMs. Claude is particularly good at that kind of thing, and in the end, Claude dropped, in an analyzing that interview, Claude dropped an F bomb, which I've never seen before,
Wow.
actually, and it said it was an ambush. It was.
Wow.
By the way, are we
Do
G
you?
rated or PG rated? I've totally.
Oh, we can swear. We're good.
Oh, okay. No, Claude actually said it was a fucking ambush, and I was just going, "Whoa, Claude!"
Jeez, yeah, that's not good. That's that. I think that's always one of my concerns. It always has been one of my concerns, and it's hard to base something on a result, especially like in the DevRel world. And you always get that where you throw around ROI and ROI this and ROI that. You can't, in my opinion, and maybe I'm just still old school developer advocate, but being able to measure ROI extremely fast is extremely hard to do,
No.
right? And I always kind of talk about this with leaders, and when I used to do interviews, is if they'd ask me for an example, and I always say, well, I worked at this one company but one time, and someone came. I wasn't working at the time, but I heard this story through others,
Mhm.
and someone would come to the booth and they would learn about the product, whatever the product is, and they would say, tell the people working the booth, oh, like, hey, listen, we have a solution already, but we'll keep you into the future. We roll our own solution, and using yours is best, right? And because you have A, B, and C features that we don't have because we rolled our own. But we'll think about it. And then a year later, that person came back to them working for a different company that didn't have a solution at the time, and they didn't have a hand rolled solution, and brought up company X and said, hey, listen, this company does A, B, and C, what we want to do. They're amazing people, had great conversations, they have great pricing, great features. Let's use them. And then that person a year later turned into a paying customer through the funnel. Do you see that approach, old school DevRel approach,
Mhm.
still working and being used, or do you see more of it like we need ROI now?
I'm seeing more of it's somewhere in between. It's basically we need ROI soon.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that, and I guess part of the problem is part of the problem is it takes a while to prove ROI, and at the same time, the old vanity metrics don't work as well anymore. They companies do know that yes, page views, downloads of your white papers, that sort of thing. Don't they're called vanity metrics for a reason. And basically, it's largely figuring out what it's largely figuring out what do you do to show ROI, or at least, if not direct ROI, some kind of proxy for ROI, and that's the real challenge. So yeah, the real problem, one part of the problem also is that the dev part of DevRel has changed, simply because the definition of developer just got a lot bigger.
Yeah.
In the world of AI, and then REL gets a little bit weird now because of that. And the way I've been working with it, actually, to show ROI, is actually doing a little more active reaching out to those people who are actively using our stuff. So in the case of NetFoundry, I've been talking to people who've been integrating OpenZD into their applications, because one of the nice things about OpenZD is that you accept connections not based on IP anymore. So you just don't say, oh yeah, so and so is coming from this IP, they're cool, let them in. It is now, okay, so and so is connecting directly to me. They have shown the proper cryptographic ID, and policy allows them to do these particular things. And I've just been talking with these various people and going, hey, tell me what works for you, tell me what doesn't. It's a lot more one-on-one these days. But the other thing I'm trying to do, because everybody is trying to get out there and prove what they can do, is I'm getting taken up on it, where people are going, hey, I would like to appear. I go, would you like to appear on our YouTube channel? We'll do an interview just like this one. And a lot of them are saying yes now. And I think part of it is simply because in the age of AI, you now have to provide proof, because a lot of people are going to LLMs, and because of that, it's no longer about SEO. It's about and we're going to need to standardize on a term for this, AIO or something like that. But basically, it's actually being able to point to proof that you can do what you say, because that's generally when people are searching or looking for answers via an AI. That's what they get it from an LLM, and an LLM tends to lean more on proof than PageRank or incoming links or things like that. So that's the real tricky thing now, is that you have to leave. If you want to prove ROI, you've got to start leaving breadcrumbs, if not directly to ROI, to proxies for ROI. And a proxy for ROI could even be as simple as signing up for an account, if not actually using a product, at least signing up for that free tier account, and then after that, you let the sales team do their magic on them. So it's an interesting challenge.
It is. It's very interesting, and I do agree with you. Like the beginning of DevRel, dev has definitely changed in the age of AI, and even it seems like the rel piece maybe, but I always attribute DevRel to a quote from our buddy Shar. And you still have to have the rel piece. AI can never replace that. You still have to have the person there.
Yes.
But I love it. I love what Shar said to me a couple years ago. He said to me, he might have even said this publicly, but he said, and I'm paraphrasing because I probably butcher it over and over every time I say it. But he says we are we are doing DevRel, and I personally I don't consider DevRel a team. I consider DevRel a mission. At the end of the day, like on paper, yes, it's a team, it's an org, whatever. And to me, though, I've been doing this for so long, whether it was unofficially or officially, I consider it a mission, right? And I feel like I am the ambassador to the community. You're the ambassador to the community, as well as the product and the organization. So we have to be there. But he said he said it's in the name. It's in the name DevRel. You know, rel is for relations, relationships. We are in the business of relationships. Once it starts moving into dev tech, now we have lost the goal, right? It's no longer about the person anymore. It's about the technology. And yes, technology is a huge part of it, but you need a person to consume and use that technology, and you need to foster their learning and their growth and their developer journey, which we all know about, right? So I myself as well, pivoting a few things and am starting to get a list of people in the community that are using our product and that may or may not have had issues or have worked through everything to get to Hello World, and reaching out to them one-on-one to make sure that, hey, are you doing okay? Like, this isn't automated. I'm a real person. Like, here's my LinkedIn. I just want to make sure that you're doing okay and that the product is working the way you expected. Because if not, I would love to have that feedback so I can take that back to product and engineering and kind of start a feedback loop that hopefully one day we can close and then move on from there.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, that's the thing, is it's becoming a little more our line of work is becoming more personalized, and I think that we work best when we actually do a little more outreach to individual developers out there who are using our stuff. And yeah, like you said, checking and making sure, are you okay? And proving that there's a human on the other end. And in fact, yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of like part of our work is passing a CAPTCHA test. You know, proving that we're human. And I've seen that a lot lately in videos where people, and I'm doing this as well, I'm editing less. So if there's a mistake, I keep it in. It just feels more human. It proves that I'm not an AI generated creature and that kind of thing. And I've been using a whole bunch of tricks actually to prove that I'm human and just make it seem more that way. One thing I've been doing lately is, because among other things, I'm a recovering cartoonist, is I now do, it's something I used to do to diagram things when explaining things to people on the backs of envelopes. So I now do most of my diagrams as back of the envelope drawings.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Rather than AI generated diagrams. Simply to make it more human, and the fact that, of course, not that many people do it. And you have to be quirky. I can't remember where I saw it online on social media somewhere. But the general gist was to be you know what, if you want to stand out in an AI generated world, be your most authentic, and I love this word, unhinged self.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love all of that. And drawing isn't the only thing that you do, which we'll get into.
Oh, yes.
Talking about personalizing and moving into that, have you found any type of tooling or ways to measure that so you could get something on paper?
To measure what in particular?
Just like success, and that you are doing the reach out, or is it like, hey, I'm reaching out to these people, these community members that are using the product? Is there any metrics that you've not metrics, but tooling that you've found to help just measure, I guess, positive sentiment?
Not yet. What I've just been doing is keeping a log of my experiences from talking with the various users, in the same way that I keep in the same way I keep a friction log, where every time I'm using our own stuff and I bump into something, I make a note of that as well. I had trouble using this. Let's see, because these are, but So far, I have not. I've not found a particular measurement system for it. I'm looking through. I'm looking through a bunch of books and trying to figure out that way. And you know what? That's probably a really good hallway conversation to have at some point. How do we measure that? Just because CRM systems were not built for that kind of. Well, actually, they might be. Because I'm not in sales, I'm not a very heavy user of CRM systems. There might be I haven't used HubSpot in a really long time. There might be something for that now. And it's one of those things I need to explore. But in the meantime, what I'm doing is, in the absence of some kind of formalized application or system, I'm at least just tracking it, storing the data, because I'm hoping I can use it at some point in the future once I've figured out or found what this system is.
Yeah. No, that's great. I guess, yeah, it really comes down to that. Like, there isn't a really true system to kind of measure these things and kind of document these things besides documenting it on your own. So I think definitely having a hallway conversation about that is great. And since I won't be at DevRelCon, we should definitely have a conversation about that at KCDC.
We could, yeah. That sounds that sounds fantastic.
Are you going to be at Commit Your Code in Dallas?
No. When is that?
That is, I am going to put it on the screen. I don't have one put on the
Sure.
screen, but I'll put it in here. I'll put it in the chat. Let me go here, all destinations. Let me see if I can share it, unless
Yeah.
this is a new machine I have, so I have to like give everything permission every time I do something new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, all right, here is Commit Your Code.
I have a new machine as well.
So yeah, this is Commit Your Code. Shout out to Danny Thompson and Leon and everybody else that makes it happen.
Yeah, that's right. It's the really expensive one, inexpensive one at Plano.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
when
a great event. It is it is in September. Let's see here. Where do we have it?
And how close to KCDC is that?
This is the first week of September, and then so September 2nd is like the pre-conference party. They do like a pickleball clinic. It's pretty cool. Yeah, and then day one is on the 3rd, and then the 4th.
Pickleball before a conference. There's going to be some hurting ankles there. That's
yeah, they did it last year. I wasn't able to make it last year for that, but they did it last year, and I heard it was pretty cool. We have some amazing speakers that are going to be there. Let's see, Bree. I mean, there's just view all the speakers. There's so many. Bree will be there, and then you have who else? Dennis Ivy. You got Roxy Marino. Yours truly.
All right.
Mike. Yeah, Bethany Ann. I mean, just an amazing lineup. You got Nick, Mark Thompson.
Oh, fantastic. What will your talk be at that one?
I am doing a talk on, let's see, I'm doing a talk on node modules and JavaScript security. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's going to be a really, really cool event. Hopefully everybody can get a chance to check that out.
And very fitting with the Tech Scare mission.
Yes. Let me see, I'm going to delete this comment because it just came out of nowhere. Spammy comment.
Absolutely. By the way, you should actually, since you're in the open source security world, you should give some OpenZD stuff a look. And I'm going to be putting together some videos soon. So secure client server, and among other things, we also have something called ZRock, which is an OpenZD based clone of ngrok. Very
nice,
very handy little tool. But my primary mission actually is to be promoting the AI tools that we have. So we've got an LLM gateway, basically for your applications to communicate with LLMs. There's an MCP gateway, which we have, and a new tool called Agora, which is for secure agent-to-agent communication. So yeah, lots of interesting stuff. And once again, it is open source. It is if you have the time, or if you're small and need something free, of course you can grab it. You can grab it all and use it. If you're a big company, then come talk to our sales team, and we'll give you a managed version that you don't have to worry so much about.
That's awesome. We'll make sure everybody checks that out.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's a fun thing. All the stuff is written in Go, so it's also an excuse for me to brush up on my Go. I need to treat it as I need to treat it like its own language, and not just as better C or less.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so the learning opportunities, and that's one reason why that's one major criterion for picking out a job is actually, yeah, how much can I learn, or am I just going to be doing rote work that I can do on autopilot? I'd still rather be engaged than than what some people call, quote, quote, living the dream, which is just doing as little as possible and collecting that paycheck.
Yeah,
I'd still rather be diving in.
100%, and that's what we have to do. So let's talk about what the people came here to see.
Oh,
there you go.
Okay, I've got a bunch of accordions. This is the travel accordion. This is a student model. This is meant for beginners, or especially if you're younger, under 12, you're not that big yet. This isn't so heavy. But the nice thing is this one fits not just in every airline's overhead compartment. If I need to, this will fit under the seat.
Really?
In front of me, yeah. So so there are accordions of this size, and while I don't have the full set of chord buttons. Normally there's anywhere from 48 to 120 of these. These are handy. They're very handy for backup, but there's enough for me to work with. And what happened was, when I was living in Toronto, actually Canada is a fantastic place to be a street musician. Part of the reason is that they eliminated the $1 and $2 bill back in the 1990s. So, and they replaced them with coins, and nobody thinks twice about throwing a coin in a hat, despite the fact that coin is now actual big money.
Loonies and toonies.
Yeah, loonies and toonies. And I thought, hey, being a street musician might be a fun hobby on the weekends. I get to meet people, and by people, I often met girls, but that kind of thing. So I just decided, hey, let's go, and I'm going to go out in the street and play accordion. And interesting things happened. I ended up by playing on the street. I ended up on stage at Toronto's most notorious goth bar.
Oh wow!
And, yeah, because the DJ challenged me and my friend. Both of us had accordions, and he said, come back tonight, play anything off the Goth Top 20, and I will set you up with all the beer you can drink.
That's cool.
Said, oh yeah, we're absolutely doing that. So we learned 9 Inch Nails, Head Like a Hole, bow down before the one you serve, and we got the audience to clap, and he did. True to his word, set us up with all the beer we could drink. And at another time, I was at a Christmas party. I was a guest of a friend who worked for Chapters Online, basically the Canadian answer to Barnes and Noble. And I had my accordion with me, and I did a couple of numbers. And their CEO, he's Rick Siegel, came up to me and said, "I don't know what you do, but I would like to hire you." And I just decided, this is a good DevRel tool. Yeah,
that's pretty sweet.
Could I give you the official, unofficial song of AI?
Let's do it.
So wrap it up. I was gonna get a job, but then came AI. I'm now an unemployed slob because of AI. I'm hiding from Terminators, yeah, you know why. Yeah, hey, because of AI, because of AI, because of AI. Little Afro Man tribute there.
That was awesome, Joey. With that, we are going to end the stream. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Where am I going to see you next? What should you plug besides DevRelCon and KCDC?
Actually, for the time being, it is DevRelCon and KCDC.
Okay.
But you know what? Commit your code. I'm interested in that. Let's see now. Bossman Dave, if you're out there, maybe we should talk about sending me there. And yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Joey. I really appreciate it. Let's we got to make sure that we link up in KCDC, have those hallway tracks.
Oh, absolutely.
I will see you there with the accordion. So
fantastic. Looking forward to it. And hey, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no, thanks again for the quick reply. We do have a stream next week. My guest is going to be Ed Charbonneau. So if you know Ed, he's an awesome person originally from Michigan as well. So he's going to be on the stream. We're going to talk about some pretty cool stuff too. So with that, thanks again, Joey. I really appreciate it. And we are out.
All right. Thank you, Chris. Bye, everybody.